Welcome back everyone to the concluding episode of Let's Play Advanced Tactics Gold. I think it's number 45 if I'm not mistaken, but whatever one it is, it's probably going to be the last one of the series because I don't think we're going to have a problem capturing Cologne on this episode. It's debatable. Currently it's shown as empty, but if you want to make a bet as to whether or not Cologne is actually empty with an enemy force just adjacent, I wouldn't give you good odds. Unfortunately, this unit suffered quite a few attacks. So what has happened since the last episode? That's usually how I start things, and probably how I should start this one. So off camera, I concluded the last episode just by forcing the Russians back in the north. It's getting to be a bit easy. So if you remember last time, Lorient had these massive stacks. Basically, these three stacks were here, here, and here instead. Excuse me. But we pushed in, brought up our reinforcements. I didn't even move these guys. Oh no, these are the tanks from the south. They've moved back north of the river where they belong with their whole entourage up here, the red eastern headquarters. I never even gave the 4th headquarters a different name. It's just the 4th headquarters. So you can see we pushed all the way to this road. We were about right here, and we pushed, about 2 hexes. That's the most you can really move with infantry in the forest. So we pushed those 2 hexes, and I don't know, it's not very interesting. It's overwhelming victory. So it was fun, but only in just fun in the manner of speaking that I was stomping them, and it was fun to watch their casualties be in the hundreds. I had one victory, I think it was here. One of them was I eliminated 800 power points of units. So that's not 800 units, obviously. Like a tank I think is worth 10 power points or something, but they're very low readiness. All their units are extremely low readiness, and since I attacked into a heavy artillery, just a whole bunch of artillery that is not very good at defending itself, we ended up just slaughtering tons of it. Maybe it was worth recording that just for the laughing factor, because it was very enjoyable. But what's our plan for taking Cologne? I think it's pretty simple. We're currently cut off, but I think that'll be easily remedied. We just need to push this unit out because it's blocking zone of control, free movement along this road. And I want that road free so that I can get artillery here without the cost of 100. So if I'm able to remove this unit, which I will be able to very easily, this artillery is going to cost 20 less to get into this hex, which should mean 20 bombardment we can use against Cologne. Unfortunately, this unit took a lot of casualties last turn. It even lost, I think it lost more than 1 tank, maybe it only lost 1 tank. In fact, let's go into history and just see what happened. So this is the beginning, I should say the end of last turn, the beginning of the enemy turn. You can see we had pushed them back, we pushed here. We actually controlled the roadway in Cologne, but obviously they changed that. So let's just go to the battles. I'm not really going to concern myself with the Russian-German battles. They do push up this road, but it's not super important. Let's see. So they do some bombardment, they kill one of my rangers. They do some more bombardment, don't do anything. Okay, this is the Russian-German stuff. A lot of bombardment. More bombardment on me, not effective. This is effective. So once the Germans get involved, they usually are pretty effective with their bombardment. 7 artillery, that's a sizable amount. So they were able to weaken up this unit, kill 3 rangers. Now they're attacking the Russians again, which is good. Not really too effective. They killed one of my machine guns. Oh yeah, this is the back and forth I'm talking about. They push in here, they push in there, they push. A lot of these attacks are just failures, a lot of losses. Even the ones that succeed have a lot of losses, which is good. I like to see that. So, well, that last one was the one I wanted to focus on, actually. They did an attack against this unit, and although it didn't kill me, it did kill one of my light tanks, which is very important. Those light tanks are kind of irreplaceable, especially because this attack or movement or something, at some point they cut off my supply. So you can see this hex is currently no longer in my zone of control. It's no longer friendly territory, so I can't supply this unit. Then they go back to bombardment, and that's it. But so they cut off this unit, which means it was actually cut off from supply, and you can see the red means it didn't get the supply, any of the supply it requested. What's worse is it doesn't even have any supply stockpile left, so it might not even have been able to consume all the supplies it needed at the beginning of this turn, which may account for some of the readiness being a bit low. Okay, but yeah, if we pretended that what we see is correct, we would be insane. Cologne is definitely occupied. How do we want to do this? Unfortunately, there's only 2 units that can actually attack Cologne this turn, this one, and this guy can also get there. Again, we want to eliminate this unit first, so it reduces, well, I guess it won't reduce the zone of control penalty at all. I think we'll have this guy from across the river go and push this guy out. It should be a simple battle. We're attacking artillery, which will just melt away to my infantry. And it worked. I'm even going to push that guy out. Not any great reason to do so. I guess we got a little bit of scouting information. And I'm trying to reserve all of my aircraft, although, oh, actually Beirut is, even though it's still pretty damaged, the location is, I mean, that's better than, that's about 80%. We're going to move our aircraft from Velberg in. And it's going to complain that we're moving into a damaged location, but we'll say yes. Again, since the only objective I have this turn is Cologne, I plan to use all 4 dive bombers on Cologne. I'll start with these 2 because they'll be able to bombard for longer and they'll be more effective. But I'm even going to follow up to see if I can get any more kills with these guys. So, even if we can get this artillery, is he going to be... I don't think it'll be possible for him to bombard Cologne at all, so we might mix it up with him, do something else. Okay, so let's move one of these guys out to capture this. Very good. And now we see Cologne is occupied, which is not really anything, terribly new for us. Let's go ahead and push this unit out. Just get him out of the way. Don't know what he's doing here anyway. So, follow up? Sure. And let's get this submachine gun just to start conquering the enemy zones of control behind enemy lines, or behind our front lines. Okay, so now this unit is going to move here. We know it's going to attack, but it only has 50 action points. So we're at 50 and 70, so we can't get more than 7 combat rounds out of this. That's pretty dangerous. Okay. 75 versus 80. I guess it doesn't matter at all which one we do. Okay. Actually, I didn't think about this. I can build a road, a river crossing here. This is incredible. I didn't think about this at all. I try to plan my turns off camera, but this is brilliant. I'm going to do this, and now I can get 5 rounds of artillery bombardment. That's really helpful. I mean, considering we're just trying to do everything we can in our power to conquer Cologne in this turn, this is definitely one way of doing it. What the heck? That's a lot of... what is that? Oh my gosh. I'm kind of stunned. I don't know what they're doing. They have 103 horses defending Cologne. So this is the German secret weapon, I guess. A horse defense. Well, it's a bold strategy. I don't think it's a good one, but... Wow. And they do have pretty good entrenchment and pretty good readiness still. So let's begin the dive bombing runs. We're going to get our better, more veteran dive bombers, close air support first. That is a lot of horses. Okay, so let's see what we did. We killed 15 more horses. They still have 87 alive. Okay, but we are starting to peck away at their rifles and at their staff. Not really 2 and 1, and 1 armored car. We did kill the 1 armored car. That's good. So let's continue the attack with the new units from Beirut. They can't get there? Oh man, they're just not close enough. Well, that's unfortunate. Huh. I guess that means nobody else will be able to get close enough. That's really sad. And this unit, can he get close enough? Actually, yes. He can get 1 more round of bombardment. I mean, we gotta squeeze this for everything it's worth. 1 more round, killed 1 more horse, lower their entrenchment by 2. I mean, we need everything. Okay, so this is the big attack then. There's nothing else to wait for. We have no more troops that are available. Had I done this river crossing earlier, no, it would not have been possible, I don't think, to get any support on the attack. Because this guy, he's going to disrupt zone of control. Actually, I can use these dive bombers, I can use one of them against him. No reason not to do that. I was thinking about using the dive bombers here, but yeah, I mean, this is a weird infantry-only hex, so... I mean, artillery-only hex. It's pretty much ideal for dive bombers. Okay, I guess I'm done stalling. I've stalled enough. Let's do it. So if it doesn't work, it's not like it's the end of the world. We can always come back next turn. But I would prefer to take Cologne this turn. They still have a combat strength of 72. This is pretty good. I mean, 3-to-1 odds. I have the 3-to-1 odds, and I'm using tanks, which is very helpful on the offensive. The only thing which is really holding me back from thinking this is going to be a victory is the fact that we don't have a whole lot of action points, and we're attacking into a city. So I guess those two things. The capital is very defensive, and they're entrenched pretty well. On top of that, we have the 50% penalty for attacking into a city. But even more importantly, I think, we don't have that many action points. So if it goes beyond 6 combat rounds, I think we stall. The attack will stall. Well, enough talk. Let's do it. 2, 3, 4. Come on. Okay, good. Wow. We cut just by the skin of our teeth. We were able to succeed in combat round number 6, which is probably the last one we are going to get, or maybe one more. So victorious. We've taken Cologne. Great. Well, I mean, this does put us in like a considerable victory point lead. If we look at the strategic map now, Germany is going to be fresh out. 0 victory points, just like good old France. Even the Russians only have 9, which is only, I guess, 1 more than they started with. Or, no, that's exactly how many they started with, because 36 is the max, I think. Let's see, let's count. 4 for London, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 for everyone. So 36 is the victory point total. That means that Russia's down to only the city she started with, and I've taken over both Germany and France. Wow, fantastic. Okay, well, let's just do a few more follow-up things before I bring this series to a close. But I had a lot of fun in this series, and I can tell you I've been practicing with my multiplayer partner for this upcoming series, and if you've made it this far, I think you're really going to enjoy that one, because we won't have these issues with factories and stuff where basically the AI starts to ruin the game, where the AI really makes the game super fun at the very beginning. It starts to ruin the game in the very end just because, I mean, it's really hard to program artificial intelligence, don't get me wrong, but they build too many factories, their focus ends up being a lot on armored cars, and as was pointed out to me, I do play with Stone Age Start, and maybe if I didn't do that, the AI would be more of a threat because they'd be able to utilize different options, or it might make the game more interesting. So I'm going to give like an alternate start where I don't do Stone Age. I'm going to give it a go. Not necessarily in my next series, but soon. Because the next one is, like I said, the multiplayer series, which I'm really looking forward to. It's looking really good so far. Okay, so we'll push these guys forward. I guess Brown should move forward as well. Just start creeping forward. And really, a lot of these units up here, they really need to switch over to green. Let's do this bombardment first, and then switch these guys over to green. Which is good. We can just get a bunch of rounds of a huge barrage off, which will hopefully weaken their attempt to counterattack, since I am weakening myself by switching headquarters. Readiness drops to 50, so I have to be a little careful about that. How do we want to do this? I think we'll switch these units back here. And my Suprema headquarters is a little low on staff. How is staff doing overall, by the way? 106, which is good. This guy's too far back, and he's at 117, so he's really good. But let's start moving him forward. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessary for me to push forward. We've taken all the foreign, non-Russian cities, so... Yeah, I don't know. What is really left? Let's go ahead and just review. Let's turn off the grid. I turn it off, I turn it on. I don't know which one I prefer. Raster the grid, and let's take a look. So the Germans will fight on, but they won't be in supply at all, which means that all these pockets of red or pink, I guess, are going to collapse because they won't be able to supply themselves any readiness they currently have, which doesn't look like they have a lot, but this one 50, for example, or these units have 100 readiness. This is slowly going to drop to 0 or to 10. Out of supply, you fight at 10 readiness. So that's 1/10 of your typical combat strength. It's going to be easy to wear them away, and really, I mean, I don't know what the point of continuing the fight would be. It's going to be me against Russia, and they do have a lot of factories, so that is working in their favor. But I have so much political point generation from all the different capital cities. In fact, that's one thing I forgot to do, is switch this over to my Supreme headquarters and get it to produce political points. Let's see how many it'll produce for me. Granted, it is a little damaged, but it's producing 15 a turn with 75%. So I guess this will produce 20 a turn when it's all healed. 20 a turn, and I'm already making an insane amount of political points because I do emphasize that quite a lot. One funny thing I noticed at the end of last turn is, I don't know where or why or how this happened. I don't know if possibly you capture supply stockpiles when you capture enemy capitals, or I don't know what happened, but I somehow managed to accrue 31,000 in supply at my main headquarters. It was not intentional, but I can probably stop producing supplies for, well, it looks like only 3 turns or maybe even only 2 turns because my supply usage is up to about 12,000. Okay, good. Well, I guess I'll just call this episode to an early close. Is there any point in... There isn't. Everywhere we're going to go, we're going to be victorious. And it's not... I mean, it really isn't strategically an intelligent move to attack the Germans, who are going to be their strongest on this turn. And every turn after this, they're going to become weaker just because they'll lose supply. So from a strategy min-max perspective, it's better to let them kind of bleed out for a little bit before trying to engage them. And more importantly, there's no strategic objective. There's no point. There's no reason for me to attack. There's no area I can find anywhere on the map where close by there's a resource that I want to grab. Okay, that's not entirely true. If you've been following, you remember I was at 70,000 oil for a long time, and now I'm down to just under 40,000. So it might be worth it for me to go and capture these strategic objectives like the oil. I have in the meantime been sending this engineer all the way back to upgrade this oil. It's only at 1,000 now, and I can get it up to 2,000, but that's only going to upgrade me from 13 to 14,000. And I think I'm also sending one more. This one's at level 3, but this one's at level 2, yeah. I sent one other engineer to start making his way back to do something similar to that one all the way in the northwest corner. But yeah, so I guess that's it. Thanks for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed this series. If you have any comments, or basically if you somehow even just watch this episode and you have a comment or anything, I'll take it very seriously, because I'm going to imagine that anybody leaving a comment about this video has made it all the way to the end of this series. And that's really impressive. You must really enjoy this, and you're exactly the person I'm trying to make videos for, if that's the case. So leave a comment if you have any other series or an idea for a series. I guess since we'll end this one, I'll just go ahead and save real fast. I'll mention 2 other things. One series which I'm thinking about doing, let me just save this, won't quit. So goodbye, thank you for this game. But one scenario which I really like is in New Dawn, German, Soviet with leaders. This is a nice little scenario. Let's see if I edit it. So I think this would make a very good multiplayer campaign. It's intended to be this, but it's got the nice middle area, so that's one map that I kind of like. I might do something on soon. If not this one, there's another one. Yes, this is it. This is actually the Russia versus Germany, or Germany versus Russia, whichever way you want to say it. This is supposed to be Russia, the invasion in 1940. Shoot. The operation... Gosh, I can't remember any of my stuff. The German invasion of Russia. It does look like a pretty entertaining scenario to play. I think it's supposed to be for humans only, but I'm gonna test it out with an AI and see what they do. I was reading in the notes and they say that the Russians should expect to lose their entire frontal force, but that they're supposed to be able to rebuild because they have a lot of cities. So it's interesting. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. So thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more content from my channel. If you have any comments, like I said, I'll take them very seriously. But until the next video, everyone, take care.